Okay, hello, my name is Leslie Bell. I'm an anthropologist officially, but I work as a Pilates teacher here in Palermo, and I have the pleasure today of discussing physical activity for aging populations. I have many clients who are elderly, who are aging, who have had a lot of benefit from physical activity. And so that's what I have the pleasure of discussing with you today. I wanted to start by watching one of the videos that is part of the Erasmus Sport project, which kind of talks about physical activity specifically.
PHYSCIAL, part funded by the European Commission. Europe faces a demographic challenge. Each year, the life expectancy in the old continent increases by 3 months. The number of people aged over 65 will double over the next 50 years. 2/3 of the 55 to 69-year-olds and about 3/4 of the over 70-year-olds only seldom or never exercise. This will put an enormous pressure on our healthcare systems, unless something changes.
The Promoting Active and Healthy Aging project, the PHYSCIAL project, is focused on people between 55 and 65 years old. The project will run in 8 countries: Denmark, Finland, Germany, Greece, Portugal, Ireland, Hungary and the UK. Through a structured and supervised exercise program, the aim of Europe Active is to simply convert currently inactive people into regular exercises at a level that is beneficial to their health.
Passa por ser um meio social para eles, passa por ser uma forma de terem o tempo ocupado, de se sentirem bem durante esse dia, durante aquela semana. É uma forma de estarem com pessoas e então aprenderem, mexerem-se e fazerem tudo e mais alguma coisa para no fundo se sentirem bem diariamente. Como é óbvio, ao nível de saúde, vários benefícios que vão estar inerentes. Possivelmente eles todos, mesmo todos que estão inscritos, têm a tensão elevada e a maior parte da medicação. Possivelmente isso é uma das coisas que se vai notar logo, a nível da tensão arterial. Têm colesterol, vão-se começar a sentir melhor física e como é óbvio também a nível de saúde não estão por risco, com certeza.
É evidente que alguns músculos respondem, mas isso é as tais dores que eu gosto de ter. Não gosto de ter outras, mas estas gosto de ter.
Through the support of Technogym and the use of My Wellness Kit, we'll be able to develop a methodology by measuring the physical activity levels during and after the project.
É um semear e certamente esperemos e constante que sim, que a colheita irá ser boa.
Physical activity can help Europe's older generation to remain independent and maintain a good quality of life. This is what PHYSCIAL is all about.
Okay. So as we can see from the video, the European Union is on board, and as we're trying to get everybody active, we want to get elderly and aging populations active as well. As the numbers of elderly people increase across Europe, so will the burden increase on the national sanitary services. So physical activity is fundamental to help the aging population stay healthy, and as a result, they'll rely less on the national sanitary systems. Physical activity is also essential in helping elderly populations maintain and enjoy their quality of life as they age. what can the role of physical activity be for aging populations? First off, it can help manage symptoms of common health conditions that we see especially in aging populations, such as high cholesterol, problems with high blood pressure, diabetes, which you already spoke about today, arthritis, osteoporosis, neurological disorders that often rear their heads in older age, herniated discs, back problems. Basically, physical activity helps combat the wear and tear on the body that, of course, grows with time. Physical activity, as I've seen, especially with my clients, helps with pain management. So people who come with chronic pain, back pain, arthritis pain, find benefit in movement. Physical activity, most importantly, serves to maintain function in aging populations. So we want to keep people as independent and as mobile for as long as possible, with the ability to do everyday activities, and if we can coordinate the physical activity in a functional way so we can maintain strength, we can maintain balance, we can help avoid falls, we can help avoid secondary injuries that often come as a result of being sedentary and out of shape. Physical activity also improves mental health, the sense of community that people have when they perform physical activity together is not to be underestimated. And of course, physical activity helps prevent secondary and tertiary health problems which are associated with a sedentary lifestyle. So as one ages, one maybe is less active for a variety of reasons, which leads to other health problems. What are some protocols for physical activity that we need to consider when we're considering an older client? The main objective should be to build and maintain strength. After a certain point in our lives, we're no longer able to build new strength, so the focus should be on maintaining the strength that we already have. And that's important for simple things like sitting up and standing, getting out of a chair, taking a shower, walking, avoiding the old person shuffle with the feet, so we don't trip, so we don't fall, so we don't break bones. So thinking about building strength and maintaining the strength that we have, especially through weight-bearing exercises. And this is also very important for people with osteoporosis, which can also be elderly men, not just women. So any program for physical activity for elderly population should definitely include a weight-bearing, strength building and maintaining aspect to the program. It's also important to work on flexibility. As people are more sedentary, the less they move, the less flexible they are. Then you have pain coming from muscle tightness, you have muscle contractures. So including flexibility into a physical activity program is fundamental. Working on posture and alignment is also critical. As we go through our lives, we all have our own habits of movement, and those habits become reflected in our body and our posture. And as we become more asymmetrical, we begin to suffer symptoms from overuse of one part of our body. So implementing exercises and activity to realign the body will help bring everything back into balance, creating less pain, creating less compensation, and allowing the body to function better. Another important factor about physical activity is neuroplasticity. So just because people are older does not mean they cannot continue to learn, and does not mean that their brain stops functioning. So neuroplasticity is the capacity of the brain to create new pathways, to modify itself, and to go around problems or blocks that it encounters in the brain. This is especially true for neurological patients who have Parkinson's, multiple sclerosis, stroke, even Alzheimer's. So by implementing physical activity, especially for older populations, we can create new pathways in the brain to help communicate between the two hemispheres, but also to help regain lost mobility, if we're discussing a stroke, for example, to regain function. When we discuss physical activity for aging populations, it's also important that we're careful about what kind of activity we're talking about. We want low impact, safe movements, and it's very important that we use the correct technique. People with osteoporosis can break bones just by bending over the wrong way or by twisting. So it's very important that the groups of people doing the activity are very well followed by the teacher. The teacher's prepared to teach them the right kind of technique so they can learn how to move their bodies correctly. And the functionality of the movement is to apply what you're doing at your lesson into your daily life. So when you're turning in your car, when you're reaching to get something, when you're bending down, and really relating the physical activity you're doing to everyday activities. A few things to remember when working with aging populations who might not be thrilled to start moving, especially if they've never been moving before, that they need encouragement. And they need to know that even if they've never done sports, if they've never been active in their lives, they can still start, even if they're older, and they can still have benefits. In my personal experience, my clients who are older give me the most satisfaction because the progress they manage to make in their lives and in their bodies is much more impressive than many of the younger clients that I have. Creating community is also an important part of physical activity because it increases the chances of long-term success. When the clients come to a lesson and they feel like they have friends and people they can share the experience with, it's more enjoyable. They want to come, they want to continue, they have fun, and it becomes another activity like going out to dinner where they can have fun with their friends and their colleagues. Again, no one is ever too old to start moving. And everyone can benefit from even minimal amounts of physical activity. They don't have to start running, they don't have to do competitive sports. Little changes can really help the body health-wise. And another factor that we discussed a few days ago at another roundtable is collaborating with health professionals. So fitness and movement professionals collaborating with doctors, physical therapists, and specialists allow the health professional to follow the progress of the patient to see if they're having benefits and improvements in the quality of life. That could be they're less depressed, it could be they have less pain, they have more mobility. And it also helps the fitness or the movement professional create a customized workout or a customized training for the clients they have based on their needs. So when we open these paths of communication between doctors and between movement professionals, we can have even better results. And the European Union has implemented the protocols for adaptive physical activity, which you've probably been talking about in these days as well, which is based on collaboration between medical professionals and movement professionals to help follow and give the best services possible to all populations, but especially to aging populations. And that is basically my talk for today. So I don't know any of you. I don't know if any of you work with older populations. I don't know if you're movement specialists. If you have any questions for me, I would be happy to answer. My specialty is Pilates and postural gymnastics.